Today I said we're going to talk about what to do when you feel ugly and worthless. Hold that thought. Having my pile of laundry in the back was annoying me. So, guys, hi Linz. Hey Jada. Hey Ope Life. So today I wanted to talk about what to do when you feel ugly and worthless. Hey Kit. Hey Joshua. Hey Raven. So I don't know if you guys, hey Moonlight Creator, whoa, hey Kinta, hey your ex-husband, hey Tota, hope I said that right. So Fluffy Seal, hello Jessica. Okay, Vias, am I saying your name right? I know you sent me the pronunciation. Hey Verity, hey Ari Star, Navina, Ryan, how are you? Hey Bothead. So if you guys have ever in your life felt like you didn't matter. Hey, Storm Queen. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Fiona. If you've ever felt like you didn't matter, that, hey, Verity, Spy Ninjas, how are you? If you've ever felt like you don't matter, that there's not a place for you, that no one would miss you, yeah, hey, Lady K, nice to hear from you. If you've ever felt ugly or worthless or like you didn't matter or like you didn't measure up, that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I know a little something on that topic because I wrote a book on it. Poetic Prescriptions for Eternal Youth, Examining Earthly Beauty from a Heavenly Perspective. And if you guys haven't downloaded this book, I've been giving it away for free. So yeah, I hear you. Whoa, humanity. So I used to feel that way. That's why I wrote a book on it. If you haven't downloaded it yet, then go to poeticprescriptions.com/free book. I want to give you guys a free copy. And you know, when I go live lately, I've been just reading a little bit of a poem that meant something to me, and we break it down and talk about it. And I have never read one of my own. So that's what I'm going to do, because the topic of self-worth is something that I struggled with probably since I was a teenager, and finally just got over it a few years ago. And that's when I wrote this book. And now since then, I have been developing an online course called You Are Worthy, so that people can discover their value, learn to love themselves, and become who they were meant to be. So yes, the topic of self-worth is, I think, a big one for a lot of people, especially in this day and age where we're doing kind of measuring ourselves, hey Janelle, against other people, looking at people's social media feed when they're posting the best things in their life that's totally photoshopped. Hey Anaconda, that they make it look like their life is so amazing. And sure, maybe some of the people are. Maybe they have material things that they don't have. Maybe they have a better body than you have. Maybe they have the relationship that you want. But you don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. You don't know if they're miserable. You don't know if they're really happy. You don't know if even what they're portraying is true. They may be posing with the love of their life in this embrace, and then when they're done with their live or the photo, they're yelling at each other, throwing shoes at each other, because yeah, I've been there. So I'm gonna just read. This is actually my least favorite poem in the book, but a lot of people told me that it's kind of what they felt, where they were at. And I guess it's my least favorite because, not that the message isn't good, but I wrote this one in high school. All the other poems in the book I wrote when I was more mature and had better, writing skills. So this is called Hate. Hey, Cafaro. Hate, hate is all I see. Each mirror in the world hates me. Cindy, I'm going to be answering your questions after I read this poem, when we talk a little bit on the topic of self-love, worthiness, and, how we feel about ourselves. So then I will answer all your questions about Carl and everything else. Hate, hate is all I see. Each mirror in the world hates me. H is for the headache I gave to everyone. A is for the giant ass I make of myself when done. T is for the trouble I've been putting everyone through. E is for everything bad that I've done too. No multitude of words that are encouraging will change the fact that this face is in need of a plastic surgeon. I'm good at hiding me, for that's when I'm at my best. Just ask me how you feel, I'll say I'm great and pass the test. H is for the heavy load that I am called to carry. A is for anxiety that I alone must bury. T is for the tedious time that I have spent alone, unknown. E is for excruciating, the cage I'm bound in when at home. Can anyone proceed to hold their laugh? I'm let down by each shrink they've made me speak to on the staff. I hide behind facades, my makeup, my coiffed hair, and my clothes, but when I write, I leak, releasing what nobody knows. H is for the harshest harm that I've inflicted upon me. A is for the attitude that I've displayed for all to see. T is for tremendous tons. I tip the scales with all this weight. E is for the eyesore, my flawed face that seals my fate. Hate is all I see. I hate you because I first hate me. Have you ever lashed out at people because you didn't like yourself? Like, I'm going to break up with you before you break up with me. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever felt like you weren't enough, you didn't measure up? So that's, what do you do when that happens? We can never fully love other people and be a good friend until we're first friends with ourselves. Yes, I wrote that, Winnie. That's in my book, Poetic Prescriptions for Eternal Youth. And I wrote that when I was a teenager. I had really a lot of self-hate issues. I hated the way I looked. I thought I was fat, ugly, hideous. I hated the fact that my eyes didn't match. All these things. And it's the worst thing you can do to hate yourself because, it's like you crave love, you crave attention, you crave somebody to pay attention to you, to tell you you're worth something, but it has to start within. Yes, Brandy, this is from my book. Did you get the free download? If you haven't downloaded this book, go to poeticprescriptions.com/free book. You guys can all get a copy of this. There's much better poems in this book. So, all right, I'm here to answer your questions now. So if you start typing them in, let's see. Somebody said they see parents have, they want their kids to be important jobs like bankers or lawyers or doctors or things like that. And if the kid doesn't want to be that, that puts a lot of strain on the child to have your parent want to force you into a profession that you're not interested in. That's a lot of pressure. And I know parents, they want what they think is best for you. They want you to be a success. But the thing is, we can't put our version of success onto our kids. We can't say that, oh, my kid has to be this or they have to be that, or they're not going to be a success unless they're doing this. And have you guys ever felt that pressure? Like, oh, my parents want, my parents did not want me to move to California and become an actor. So that's something I had to get over. They're great parents. They weren't trying to force me to do something, but they thought they just wanted me to be a success. They just wanted me to succeed in life, and they knew how hard it would be to be an actor. 3% of people in the acting industry only make a living at it. So that's 97% that can't even make a living at it. And that's been most of my life as an actor. having the passion, the zeal, going to audition. I've been on over 800 auditions. I've been in over 100 or 150 films before I even started working for Dhar Mann, and still nobody knew who I was. It's a hard road. So your parents, they do want to do what's best for you. Okay, now I see some people, sorry, I've missed a bunch of questions. So Joshua was saying his parents want him to gain weight. We had Verity saying people are calling her fat. Do you see how everyone is trying to get us to be something that we're not, or to get us to feel like what we are right now isn't enough? And you have to know within yourself that you are enough, and your worth is not determined by the number on the scale. Your worth is not determined by the amount of dollars you have in the bank account, the car you drive, the house you live in. Your worth comes only from God, who made you. And a perfect God doesn't make mistakes. So he made you perfectly. You have to know that, you have to believe that, and you have to live like you are enough. And if you don't feel it, see, when I struggled with self-esteem and self-hate issues, it didn't matter how many people told me, you're not fat, you're not ugly, you're beautiful, because I didn't believe it. Someone said, I just want to shoot and do something to myself. And that's not going to solve anything. Verity, wanting to hurt yourself isn't going to help you. Okay? So you can't talk about hurting yourself, because then the enemy wins. Then the bad guys win. Then the bad voice wins. Listen, it's like those cartoons where you see you got an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. And one is telling you the good things to do, and the other is telling you the bad. And, you know, they've studied the brain, and they've determined that most of the time we are thinking negative thoughts. And that's a cycle we have to break. We have to break off the negative thoughts from our life. And we're the only one that can do it, because we believe ourselves. We believe ourselves much more than we believe anybody else. You will always go out and try to prove yourself right. We don't like being wrong. So if you start to say about yourself, I don't believe in myself, Winnie, then first of all, no one's going to believe in you. And even if someone does believe in you, even if I said, Winnie, I believe in you, you are capable, you can achieve any dream you have in your heart. If you don't believe it, you will act accordingly to what you believe. You will always, so here's the thing. You will always become and measure up and act out of what you think about yourself, your deeply rooted beliefs about yourself. I went to some self-help workshops, and they were talking about, oh, if you have these goals and dreams, and if you really want it, you will be able to achieve it. But that wasn't true. I would try and try and try, and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it, and I didn't know why, but I was sabotaging myself all along the way. Well, why was I sabotaging myself? Because I didn't believe in myself. So, you know, back to the Henry Ford quote, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Thank you, work phone. So it starts with yourself. Even back to the Bible, Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So what are you thinking in your heart? You know, the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. Everything you're going through in your life is because of how you feel about yourself, not guarding your heart. You have to put a guard up around your heart and not let the bad arrows come against you. Not let the people saying you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're not going to amount to anything, you're not going to become anything. Those are the things you have to ignore. Those are the arrows that come against you that if you allow in, they will disperse, they will break up, they will... Timmy, you want to come say hi? He normally says hi when I'm on a live. They will come against you, and you have to not let... Here's the thing. I say this a lot. Here's the thing. If you don't want that in your life, then you can't take it in, absorb it, or believe it. Thank you, Winnie. He left. Okay, so there was like 20 questions that went by and I didn't get. So I'm ready for the next question. Why do people give up their children? It's hard to say why anybody does something, but a lot of times people give up their children because they are not capable of raising their children. Sometimes it's for selfish reasons. Sometimes it's because they know they don't have the capacity within them to raise their children in a good way. Sometimes parents giving up their children is the best gift they could possibly give you. I have several friends that were adopted, and they were adopted by great people, and they had a life that ended up being much better than they would have had they been with their blood family. You know what? Just because you're someone's blood doesn't make them the best choice to raise you and be your true family. So you have to know, and you have to believe that, you know what, here's the thing. We don't know why people do what they do. We can't read their minds. We can't assume. But here's what you can't do, Verity, and anyone who is adopted and feeling worthless, feeling rejected, feeling like they were abandoned. You have to know that you are enough. And what somebody else decides to do has nothing to do with you. If somebody gave you up, if somebody broke up with you, if somebody didn't want to be your friend anymore, you've got to know that says more about them than it does about you. I lost 2 friends last year. I mean, 4 if you count the 2 that died. But 2 I lost because they just decided they didn't want to be my friend anymore. They didn't like me. They had a problem with me. One of them sent me like a list of all my faults, of everything that was wrong with me.